Thank you, Sarah. And I just want to give a quick plug. Sarah and I have a new product called Media Trends Executive. It's a membership program where we give you really deep insights on, like Sarah just talked about, the future of retail, influencers, everything you know to be a smart media professional. Essentially, what we're saying, every single person at Cannes should be a member. Please join us. You can find me after for more details. And without further ado, I would love to invite Marianna Hewitt, the co-founder of Summer Fridays, to join me. Oh, yes, thank you. Sorry. You might have actually seen me earlier. I just reapplied my lip butter. So it's an honor to speak with you as a fan of your product.
You.
So I'd love to start with the customer. What do you see as the mindset of the modern shopper? And how can brands like Summer Friday meet them better?
I think the modern shopper today is so savvy. So when I think about when I was growing up, I was looking to magazines, I was looking to my mom, and I was really looking to experts. I would go to department stores, I would walk around and I would look at the beauty counters, and I was really hoping that somebody could guide me and tell me what products would work for me. I'm half Asian. I grew up in Ohio, so there wasn't a lot of people that looked like me, and so there weren't people that I resonated with. So I didn't always feel like recommendations made sense for me, my skin tone, my age, my demographic. But now with social media, anyone is an expert, so you can find someone that has the same lifestyle as you, who has the same spending habits, who likes to shop at the same retailers, who has the same skin tone and age, and you can find someone that's just like you that you really trust. And so I think now it's really the modern Avon, Mary Kay sales ladies are the influencers of today. And so I think influencers really give so much credibility to product. And so you're looking for recommendations from somewhere maybe different than back in the day. So where I used to open up a magazine and see Allure said this is the best moisturizer, now I trust a girl that I follow online more.
Amazing. When I first got to Cannes, I went to Sephora, as one does, to stock up on some supplies. And when I was there, I saw a sign that said "the next big thing," and that's where Summer Fridays was under. So I'm wondering what you think about being labeled the next big thing. What does that mean for Summer Fridays?
Yeah, so we recently launched at Sephora Europe. So we were actually just in France a month ago. We launched around 900 stores all over Europe, and that was really exciting. So we launched Summer Fridays in North America about 7 years ago. So we launched in all doors there. It's been really amazing, and people are like, "Oh, the brand's blown up in the last couple of years. How old are you guys? Like 3 years?" I'm like, "No, it's 7 years." So it's really interesting now to be almost a decade into the business and be considered the next big thing. And I really think that speaks to longevity of the brand, and that it really takes a long time to build something that people hopefully around the globe really resonate with. And so to be the next big thing, I think is interesting here in Europe. So it's really great to see that the brand is resonating globally. So I think previously maybe you launched a brand a while ago and you really had to seed the market. You had to get people interested in a new city or country to learn about your product, your brand. But here, because of social media, thankfully, there's been so much, community support off the bat. And so it's been great to see that people all over Europe already know what Summer Fridays is.
What does the customer journey look like for the modern, like typical Summer Fridays customer? So obviously, like I said, I went to Sephora. I could have bought it there, but I know most of my purchases are online. So walk me through the current customer journey and what you're really focused on.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of studies, and really in the last year, we saw that the top two reasons why people are buying Summer Fridays is either from influencer or social media. So that's really where we spend a lot of the effort, but it's not in performance marketing. So I think pre the iOS update a few years ago, you're thinking about performance marketing. Meta and Facebook are performing really well for you. But now it's really more about brand marketing of how can you bring people into the brand via all of these different platforms. So yes, they might learn about the brand online and really feel like they're resonating with it. They love the marketing, the photography, the storytelling. But then when you go in store to make a purchase, you are remembering that last piece of content that hopefully your favorite influencer posted, or you saw some branding that resonated with you. And so a lot of our business is online, but actually in the US, stores actually drives most of our sales.
That's so interesting. I'm excited to see how that changed too as you grow more in Europe, like you said.
It's really interesting because I think here we had tried to launch in Europe a few years ago, but pre-COVID, people weren't really comfortable shopping online here. Sephora's website really wasn't as optimized as it is today. And so when COVID happened, we saw a dip in the European business. So we took a step back and we relaunched here. So now I think people maybe are a little bit more comfortable shopping online, but in Europe specifically, I think people still like to go in stores and try and test things, especially when it comes to beauty products. I think if I see a t-shirt or a dress online, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm a size this and I can order it. But with beauty, you really want to swatch it. You want to smell it. You want to feel what it feels like on your hand. And so I think that in-store experience is so important.
Well, I love to, like you're saying, experience it in store. But like you talked about before, so much of what we see of Summer Fridays is on social media. I'm wondering what platforms you prioritize because there are so many. Social media is so broad now, obviously. So where do you really spend a lot of your time?
TikTok is really our primary platform right now as far as working with new talent. And so I think because there are so many new creators on TikTok, the algorithm just works so well to get their content out to so many people. And because of platforms like TikTok, we've seen so many creators grow to millions of followers in such a short period of time. Where when I started as an influencer, I started back in 2012, which really the word influencer wasn't quite a word yet, and Instagram didn't even exist. And it really was a slow build. It took years to get that first 100,000 followers, a few 100,000 followers. So you really had to curate your community and build a relationship with them for a really long time. But now with TikTok, someone can have a really large reach in such a short period of time. And then with beauty specifically, I think that video content just translates so well. I was just speaking at a conference last week and I was talking to a brand, it's a deodorant brand. And I was like, okay, what's working for you guys marketing wise? And they were saying, when we tried to film this beautiful content and branding and show the packaging, it wasn't really resonating. But as soon as we showed a TikTok, like actually applying the deodorant and putting it into use of, it's a very hot day today, so you could imagine how the deodorant would be working. That's when people actually resonate with the product. And so I think when you're thinking about marketing on TikTok specifically, it's like, what's actually going to sell? Maybe it's not the beautiful curated Instagram content, but it's like a real friend telling you in use how this product worked for them.
You also host a podcast, which perhaps I should have said earlier. I'm wondering about why you chose that medium. What do you like about podcasting, and how does it fit into the beauty space?
So with podcasts, I felt like a lot of people were coming to me off asking, like, could you be my mentor? Can you give me advice? And I thought, okay, I could talk to 5 people and give them this advice, but how do I get this information to the masses? I have such a great network of friends who, when I have a question, I can go to them, I can ask them for advice, but I wanted to get the information to the most amount of people where it could be really helpful. And so in 2020, I started the podcast and I was just interviewing my friends and peers. And I liked having the podcast because I wasn't interviewing them as somebody who was curious about their job. I was actually doing their job. So I was asking questions about content, about branding, about marketing, about starting a business. And there's been so many people I've met over the years that have told me, okay, this podcast episode was so life-changing for me. It really made a pivotal, impact on my career. And so that's been really great to do. And I love the like audio aspect of it because I really feel like you get to spend time with someone when you listen to them talk for like 30 to 40 minutes, and it's a little bit faster than an Instagram story.
I love that people are learning so much through your podcast. I'm curious about what you've learned from your customers. Like, what's an insight that you've gained that has helped you shape the future of Summer Fridays?
So it's really about listening to the customer. So I think when you think about a brand, of course, it's the things that you want, but you're really in service of people who are purchasing your product. So you really want to listen to them. So an example is we launched our first lip butter balm. Hopefully some of you guys have tried it out here. We launched our first one in 2020 and it came in this aluminum tube and it matched. You have a lip butter balm right here. I love it. Well, we launched it in 2020. It came in an aluminum tube, which matched our jet lag mask packaging. And people loved the formula and they hated the tube. And so as much as that tube fit into our aesthetic, we liked how it looked when you photograph it. It was a really bad customer experience. And so we listened to that feedback. We pivoted. We updated the packaging. We added an applicator that people now know and love. And that really changed that product from being something that was selling really well to becoming a bestseller. And now that's a bestseller around the world. And so by listening to that customer feedback, it's really important. So we continue to do that. So even though I might want something to be a certain way, it really is what is the best for the customer. And you always want to listen to them because they're probably telling you something that's right.
Yeah, and clearly the customers are loving it. People are lifting theirs in the air. And we actually saw someone saw some downstairs in this yacht, just like randomly. So you have a lot of super fans for sure. So you've built this brand and clearly created those super fans. I'm wondering what your advice is to brands about how to create that loyalty. Again, we're in this era where there's all these stats on Gen Z of like, it's really hard to build loyalty. What would you say are like the non-negotiables?
So we always try to think of customer first. So my background is being an influencer, but if you actually look at Summer Fridays Instagram, you won't see pictures of myself, which I think is a little uncommon for an influencer or celebrity-founded brand. But that's because it's not about me. It really is about the people who are purchasing the product. So we try to do a lot of UGC and repost our actual customers who are using the product, and really not so that they feel the love of like, okay, we see that you're posting and sharing us. We want to get you out to these audience as well. And I think that's been really important. We also have a lot of pop-ups that we do all all over the world. And so those are really big community building experiences. So we just had one in New York about a month ago, and thousands of people came. It was so amazing. And there's so many people that said, I never tried Summer Fridays. I always saw it online. But after I experienced the brand and met the team and I saw how kind and excited they were, I'm now a customer for life. And so it might be less people that you see, thousands of people in a store that maybe is less than Instagram Reel might reach. But those couple thousand people that come have this like now genuine love for the brand. And I think those are really important for us moving forward.
Can you take me inside this pop-up experience? Like, what are you offering people? Because you do hear a lot, like, of brands like exploring that. I know there's, fitness brands who will maybe they're online only and they'll do these fitness, like they'll essentially do a gym class with you. What do you do with your customers in these experiences?
Yeah, so everyone that comes actually gets something for free. So a lot of pop-ups, you come and you can buy things, or the first 100 people get something. But everyone that comes gets this really amazing tote that you like can't get anywhere else. So everyone gets that. We have free popsicles and drinks. You get to try products for the first time. So we just launched a new lip butter balm in pink guava, and that was actually the first time you could purchase it. So even before it was available in store, our community really felt like, oh, before it's even available or online or in store, I can come get this first and I can get this before anyone else. So they really like the exclusivity aspect to it.
Amazing. Do you see yourselves doing then more of those in the future? And I would imagine also you're talking about growing in Europe. I imagine
Yes.
also internationally.
We would love to do more. So in Paris, we just did Cafe Kitsune, which I love. We did a takeover at their store. We did our blue and white stripes in the front. We had a menu that was available for the month. And so food and beverage partnerships have been really fun for us, especially because all of our lip butter balms have these nostalgic flavors. So having those flavors tied to something that you could eat or drink is really fun for us to do.
I'm a fan of iced coffee.
So good. I love that one.
This is going to be a big question, but I'm curious your insights on the future of the beauty landscape overall. One thing that I appreciate about your brand and a lot of other brands is your focus on like health and skincare. It's not just about like putting a bunch of stuff on your face to look cute. So I'm wondering, do you see that being a big trend in the future? What trends are you really eyeing that you think again will shape this space going forward?
I think going forward, there's so many beauty brands today, but I think there's always space for new ones. But I think it's about being very niche. So I was judging this competition last week, and I was hearing from the next generation of brands. And one brand, it's called Wise. It's available at Sephora, and that's for women that are older and wiser. So they're really going after the woman that's 50 plus. And so it's very niche and thinking about her skin needs. So instead of being something so broad, another one was a deodorant company, but it's called ACT. It's spelled AKT, and it's body deodorant. So you can put it on like a lotion. So anywhere you sweat, whether it's your armpits or your body, you can apply it anywhere else. So I think these niche products and companies are really going to succeed in the future and then go after like this really target audience. So there's always space for new ones, but I think it's like figuring out who your customer is and being so true to that, and then knowing that you're going to find this group of people.
I'm glad we're recording this because those sounds like great companies that I should be looking at. I'm wondering, again, can we speak a little bit more about the future of Summer Fridays? We talked about you guys doing more events. You talked about growing in Europe. Is there anything else you can tell us about what you're kind of planning for and building towards in the years ahead?
Summer Fridays has always been a beauty brand. It was rooted in skincare. So we started with jet lag mask. We expanded to lip butter balm. But because we weren't hairstylists or estheticians before, we were lifestyle influencers. We were always talking about beauty cross categories. So I think as we expand the brand, we're thinking about what other categories can we go into. So there's going to be more things coming in a few weeks that I think I know very
soon.
My gosh.
All right, well, keep us updated. Well, what about you? I talked about how you host a podcast. What about you personally? Obviously, you're invested so much in this brand, but anything else you're excited by when it comes to like you said, you're an influencer, you're a creator. What are you really focused on as well?
It's really fun, I think, to be in the point in my career now because I still work as an influencer, but I get to be really selective now about, okay, if it's a brand I want to work with, if there's really great alignment, and then also working with other influencer-founded brands to cross-promote their company with our company has been really fun, so it's been great to collaborate with them. We did some cafe pop-ups with Mad Happy we just did in Los Angeles, which was really fun, and it was driving people into their store. We did sampling opportunities with them, so hopefully we can do more things like that, which is great. And then I also do like a little bit of angel investing, which has been really great. So companies have asked me to like advise for them or do investing, which has been really fun. So that's across categories like Starface pimple patches, Julie. There's a nail company that's coming out that's really great. So more of that.
A number of times actually this week that I've heard people plug Starface, like they are definitely one to watch because I think that's such an interesting trend of back to like we talked about Gen Z of like that they don't want to just like hide their pimple, they're essentially accentuating their pimple.
Well, because I think they feel proud to wear something with it. So it's like we all break out, we all have it, and even at my age, I'm still breaking out too. So I think it's something that they're proud of wearing, and they're so cute. And so I think it's not always about like reinventing something that doesn't exist. It's about how can you make something that exists better.
Amazing. I'm wondering if there's anything else you'd add about the future of the retail experience. We talked about in store, we talked about how much you guys do direct to consumer, but obviously we're here at Criteo talking about the future of retail. For you, when you're a shopper, like where do you go? Is it the mix of everything? What really influences you to buy?
I'm a big shopper. So I'm a big consumer. So I think that makes me a good influencer because I'm always on every single website. I'm a big online shopper. So I like to shop every day. And I actually really love brand and retail apps. So I have a folder on my phone of all of my favorite places. I have the apps on there. So I'll go in the app and then I'll order, or I'll go to like the new in section and I'm always looking. And then something I really like too, and it's a cross category, it's not just luxury. I think we used to see luxury websites have like VIP experiences for top customers and they would reach out to them. But now across categories, even some other stores too, they have programs where they'll actually text you. So it'll be a person. So it'll be like, hi, my name is Amy. I'm texting you like our new items that are coming next week. So I think that personalized experience means a lot. And then I was on a skincare website yesterday and they had an AI skin analyzer and you could take a selfie of yourself and then it showed me like where my pores were, where my wrinkles are, and then I could pick each part on my face and it could tell me what products it recommended based on what it could tell. And so I think we're going to see in the future a lot of this AI recommendations for people so they really feel like they have a personalized shopping experience for them without the brand having to really hire so many customer service people for so many inbound requests.
That's so fascinating, and I'm so glad you brought up AI. Obviously, the talk of the town at Cannes and just around marketing, and it inspired me to ask you a question. How are you guys using AI internally? Like that product, I'm like, I hope Summer Fridays is being plugged as something one should use as a recommended product in that.
We haven't been using it yet. There's some things that you can use in Shopify for inventory, which is really great. But I think we're trying to figure out how to use it on the customer side. So once I saw the selfie one, I'm like, okay, this is something really great. And then I think there's even like chatbots where you can say, okay, I'm looking for something for dry skin, and it can spit out like a couple different recommendations. And so not something we're exploring yet, but I hope that we will in the future.
Amazing. Well, and you also talked about that you love like exploring apps. Like Summer Fridays doesn't have an app, or is that something you'd be interested in?
Definitely. I think it's something that we could do in the future. I think it would have to be something that feels really unique to us and really be about content and less about shopping, with shopping really being a secondary benefit.
Well, we're almost out of time. I did want to just talk generally about like Cannes as well. I don't know, is this your first Cannes? Have you been here before?
I was here last summer. It was my first time last year.
Amazing. Well, what was your takeaway last year from Cannes? You come here for a reason. What were the insights you gained? And I know you haven't been here that long yet, but what has been your impression of this year as Cannes? What's changed in the landscape?
Well, there's a lot more people this year. It felt like it was really busy last year. It was hotter this year, and there's more people. But it's been such an amazing experience. And I was telling some people that work for the company, I was like, you guys have to come here because just the sheer amount of like networking and people that you're around. Like there was a room last night and I'm like, I can't believe all of these people are just in one place. And so it's not about just attending and going, but really making sure you introduce yourself to the people around you and saying hi and like following up. And so LinkedIn has been really great because I actually can just see who's in town too, because I've been seeing people post. So it's been great to like be like, oh, you're here. Let me reach out to you.
It's not just about TikTok, it's also about LinkedIn. I want to end a true Axios style on one fun thing. What I am curious about, I hate to make you choose a favorite baby, but what's your go-to Summer Fridays product? And also, what do you think is a must-have here at Cannes?
Well, sunscreen for sure is a must-have right now. So our shade drops, we're available here at Sephora. There's 2 of them in town. And then my favorite is Jet Lag because it's what we started the brand with, which it's a face mask, moisturizer, hydrating, calming, soothing, but we have a whole Jet Lag line now. And the mist has been like a lifesaver. So if you need to like refresh during the day, it's the best.
The number of people that I've seen reference that is incredible. Also, I love when you buy the lip butter, there's like a little sample of Jet Lag in there. I think that's such a smart strategy.
Yeah, because you want to get your people that are trying something to try something else. And so we actually had to end up custom making a sample that was small enough to fit inside the lip butter bomb packaging. So then the lip butter bomb customers can go try skincare too. And so the cross sampling has been really important for us. It's a big investment, but it's worth it.
Clearly. Well, I'd love for you to keep us updated on those new products that you say are coming in a few weeks. And again, thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Thanks,
Marianna.
everyone.